So this week has been a very exciting week for gaming because there have been announcements all over the place, but amongst these announcements have been gameplay drops from IGN of the new Sonic Frontiers game, and today I wanted to sit down and just discuss my thoughts on what I saw from this gameplay as it was dropped. They dropped a combat trailer today as of 6/3/2022, and yesterday at 6/20 I already messed up. At 6/2/2022 they dropped a trailer for just the overworld and the basics of what you could see while playing the game, and there were a lot of interesting thoughts that came to mind when I viewed both of these footages at the same time. For the first clip showing the initial gameplay feels like, well, a Sonic game. You know, it's an open world experience, but there's a lot of things really going on that I personally just couldn't understand. There's a lot of story elements that we obviously don't have an understanding of because they didn't show anything relating to the story, just the gameplay, but it seems as if Sonic's given some new looks and some new abilities. He's given some new types of things, like where there's that nice little blue outline that he can create that creates certain things and changes in the maps and in the enemies, and it seems to be a core component to how you're going to be using this ability throughout the game. It seems like a reoccurring thing. They even showed it off in the trailer, so that's interesting. There's something new, and there's, you know, more of the old stuff as well there too. One thing that I noticed in particular about this game is that Sonic doesn't feel like a speed demon. Obviously, if he were to go at the speed of light like normally he does, he would cover the whole map and the whole game in the matter of minutes, and I feel like they intentionally did this just to slow him down a bit, just to give him more of an aim towards combat and more of an aim towards, well, exploration, which of course is necessary for an open world game, but it does feel kind of weird to see Sonic take a turn for going just a little bit slower, and I hope that there's more ways of this being, you know, taught and shown when the game's story becomes more relevant and when the game actually releases. Speaking of Sonic traveling the overworld, there's a lot of things for Sonic to do. There seems to be a lot of areas to unlock, a lot of secrets to uncover, collectibles and things like that. There are obstacles obviously everywhere because this is a Sonic game, but it also does feel a bit empty despite having all of these elements in there. These are sort of just elements that you could use to traverse the terrain and to get around, but a lot of these elements don't exactly do anything special, and a lot of these elements are just 1-second puzzles that you can solve in the matter of seconds, because this game is obviously aimed more towards the younger bases, and it rewards you with like a fruit or a collectible or hopefully a key item to the story that can upgrade Sonic and his abilities. I'm really unsure of what I've been looking at, honestly, but there is a lot of emptiness despite there being a lot of obstacles there. So hopefully when the game gets closer to release, there's more meaning to these obstacles and that they're just not placed there just to be there to make the game look pretty, but not do anything more for the game, if that makes sense. I will say this though, moving over to the combat side of the viewing, it definitely looks like Sonic has some new combat abilities. These combat abilities aren't really things that we have seen in a Sonic game before. He has a lot more of like interesting animations and faster attacks. He actually punches and kicks when he does his homing attacks, and you can really see that. Sonic really likes to slow down when fighting in this game, and it's sort of like a mix of Boom, but not exactly, you know. Boom was something in its own little nature there, but they definitely gave him more of a visible animation for his fighting sequences, and the creatures that Sonic is fighting in this game are far different from the creatures that we've really seen in any previous game. I really don't know what to give a thought to these new mysterious creatures. These are definitely like robotic enemies. Doesn't seem like something that Eggman would make himself, more of like an Omnic type of takeover scene, and these enemies are a lot more slower to take down than what you would see in your average Sonic game. It's not as simple as 3 hits and you're good. No, these enemies take a little bit more work, which could be tedious or it could be exciting depending on what kind of Sonic game player you are. There's just a lot. There's a lot of new stuff going on here, and I really don't know if I can draw a conclusion on the Sonic Frontiers gameplay or if I can draw a conclusion fully on the game now, because we're missing the story. We're missing a big part of why the gameplay exists, and why things are looking so weird and why this new formula is being added. And I hope that for the moment at least, the story can add up to make the gameplay make sense, and hopefully we find all that out very soon. Because right now, honestly, this game is just looking like a very good Unity test demo. It's looking like something a Sonic fan would make in order to show off the movement and show off the character, and it isn't really amounting to all too much. But I can't say that it's bad. The game does look great. I love the terrain, I love the textures, I love the different look and the shading on Sonic himself. It reminds me of somewhat of Sonic Generations, but mixed into like a sort of slower paced game as well, and that makes me happy. So hopefully we can catch a lot more references and a lot more cooler things when more and more gameplay of this releases for this game. But overall, I want to hear what you all have to say about Sonic Frontiers. Do you think that this is going to be a good or a bad game? Are you liking the new movement mechanics to Sonic? Are you liking his combat? Are you liking the overworld? Again, I always love communicating with you guys and hearing what you all have to say on that. But without further ado, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more, hit that like and the subscribe button. And without further ado, peace out.